Okay, so get this. I'm sitting on my couch. I just released my last video, and I have literally no idea what to do for my next one. I don't know. So I reload YouTube for like the 10th time. I'm bored as Chroma Core 2026 Cynic's design, and I'm like, perfect. This is what my next video is going to be. So for those of you who don't know, Cynic's Design is an awesome art teacher out on the interwebs, and he has been running this competition called Chroma Core for the past 7 years or so. I've never competed before, but I was like, this is gonna be pretty cool. Basically, Chroma Core goes as such. There is a cadet phase where everybody makes a character design, and those dudes are called your cadets. Cynics then judges all of the cadets and chooses a number of them to compete, and then for the next 30 days, those cadets are thrown through daily challenges, and the last man standing wins. If you're not chosen, you're still heavily encouraged to compete in those 30-day challenges. This year, Cynics is centering it all around Battle of the Bands, so 5 cadets out of the hundreds that submit will be chosen. Those 5 cadets are then going to choose 3 other cadets, and they're going to make a band and compete in team-style matches. So, everybody, welcome to my cadet phase for Chroma Core 2026. Now, to start this cadet phase, I need some inspiration, and right now I've got 3 major sources going. The first major source is the actual inspiration for what I think I'm going to be drawing. I really want to do a Western, so I'm pulling from the French comic Blueberry, which is a great Western comic illustrated by Jean Giraud, or more commonly known as Mobius. Its inking and color work are right down my alley and just beautiful. Genuinely, I love them. And for some more inking master inspiration, I will be pulling from 2 artists who I really admire. One, the late Kim Jung-ji. His art and inking and character work, just beautiful, perfect, it's amazing. Master of perspective. And another one is Peter Han. I've always loved the way that he does his inks, and he is a big figure on Proco. If you've seen their videos, you've probably seen him hop on for some art advice. Now, here's the biggest catch with this cadet phase. It is limited time, and right now I've only got a couple of days to get it done. Well, not a couple. I've got about a week to get it done. It is due on the 12th. Right now it's the 6th, so I've got about 6 days to get this art piece in, and with that and my inspiration, I think it's time to get started. So I began like any good artist, though I don't know, I never said I was a good artist myself. And I threw everything I had up onto my paper. I knew I wanted a cow, so I just searched up images of cows and started drawing over and over and over again, changing little things like the angle of the face, the length of the hair, length of the horns, just basically trying to see what kind of cow I was wanting to draw and getting used to drawing cows, because a cow face is not a human face. And moving on from the cow, I went right into our character, and to start that, I just searched up a bunch of famous Western faces and took a look at them for reference. Okay, after looking at all these guys' faces, the pretty archetypal structure is a bit longer and squarer, definitely. Our boy Blueberry has a differently shaped face, definitely, that I have drawn before, so let me see, where the heck did I put it? Here's the drawing that I did, basically just copying a drawing of Jean Giraud's. So, I don't know, I'm thinking, maybe if I just, smash them 2 together? I don't know. Gosh, I don't know. Let me just draw for a little while, and I'll figure something out. Okay, and I'm back, and I'm good. I think I got what I want. I'm not sure. I've done some drawings here, and I really like all these faces, and I came up... The one thing that I 100% am doing is this burnt hat that I've drawn. I want the kind of story as a reason why he's blind to be like some fire in a fight or something. There was a fire, and it came up and it scorched his eyes and his hat, and that'll bring it away from all of the other traditional Western guys. And away it does. See, the biggest thing that the burnt hat does for us is augment the silhouette, which will hopefully make the character more memorable and recognizable. I also decided to go for the bandages because it makes the face more readable as opposed to just the burnt skin. The poncho in this drawing is a little stiff and weird, the graphics don't wrap around the folds as convincingly as I would have liked, but it is definitely a good start. throw on a pair of legs and give this guy a cow, and our day 1 draft is complete. Yes, you read that title card correctly. Over the next couple days, I was genuinely losing my mind. From drawing his face like 5 times over, to getting a real poncho and hanging it up, using it for reference, to laughing excitedly at myself, to an out-of-tune banjo at like 10 o'clock at night. It was really, really fun, to be honest. And to start day 2 off, I drew his face 3 times, fully rendering it to the best of my ability, and I submitted those 3 drawings into the CHROMA Discord server for feedback, and was told that they all looked like booty. And I was okay with that. I was like, okay, awesome. And I took the feedback and I drew it 2 more times as fully rendered as I could, and they were much, much better. I resubmitted those into the feedback. They said, yeah, that's much better, and I moved on. In one day, over the course of like 4 hours, I went from drawing his face like this to drawing his face like this. That's 1 day's worth of progress, and I was very, very happy with myself. And from there, I just had to keep moving, and moving I did right into ponchos. I was going insane, losing my mind. And again, having so much fun. These ponchos, like, probably the most goofy, silly, fun part of this entire journey. This whole week, I'd say the silliness peak was on these ponchos. Like, just take a look at this. Dude, poncho? Dude, poncho! Okay, real quick, I just want to show you something. Lighting's horrible. One moment. It's so cinematic. That is so scary. Why is that? What? Camera settings. Wait, no, don't fall. I don't really so. Okay, I made a fake poncho man wearing a poncho for studying, because we have this blanket. Oh god, it's falling. We've got this blanket that is the same material that I imagined the poncho's made out of. I don't know. Poncho, cool. Back to work. Go. Yeah. I was having way too much fun. But it was so worth it. It was so worth it. And from the ponchos, after I finally stopped drawing stiff, wiggly lines and said, hey, look, cloth folds, and actually understood what I was drawing, I was able to move on to the banjos. And the banjos, I had a lot of fun with. I actually did some research on the banjos, and it turns out the banjo is a southern instrument, not a western instrument, but I don't care. Anyway, it's a pretty cool instrument. I thought that history was pretty interesting, and just kind of cool to research up on. I found a place with a whole bunch of different banjo pictures, took a picture of those, and started using them as reference. I'd say the hardest part of the banjo, and really any instrument, to be honest, is definitely just the body of the instrument. Being able to draw a cylinder without any digital autocorrect or something is, whew. It was difficult, but I was starting to get the design for the banjo down, and I even played myself a silly little song with the banjo we have in our house. Yeah, again, I was just having way too much fun. And after the banjos, I didn't stop there. It was like 11 or 12 at night, and I just kept going. And I was like, you know what? I know what my guy looks like. I know he wants a cow, so boom. I decided to make a sketch and even watercolor that sketch. Not a big fan of the colors right now, but I correct them later on, and I really enjoyed making this watercolor at literally midnight. And finally, I was able to go to sleep and start day 3. The second day of madness. See, today I did not start on my final submission, though it would have been really nice if I had. Instead, I spent the whole day studying more on a big sheet of watercolor. I just needed to draw my designs a couple more times before I felt confident on that final. I really needed to lock in the banjo's design, I needed to get the cow figured out, and I wanted to draw him a couple times, sitting and standing close up, just really get a feel for it all. And the big thing for this sheet was the colors of him, his color palette, you could say. In this recording, I did 2 different colors. I did red and I did green. Neither of them worked. Green has already been taken by, the one and only Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The most famous Western ever. And the red, I really wanted to work, but it just didn't. It felt too samey, His entire design was warm tones, and having his poncho also be warm tones just didn't look good. It was too, flat color-wise. So after this recording, I tried 2 more colors. I tried blue, and I went back to day 2's purple, and neither of those worked either. On day 3, I just could not figure out these colors for the life of me. But I did get a pretty cool looking portrait of him, his close-up face, and I think for the first time ever doing a painting like that, detailed face with watercolors, I think I did fairly well. Skin is a pretty difficult thing to paint in detail, and again, for my first time, I think it is pretty good. It's pretty good. I have plenty of room for improvement though. But that is day 3's big sheet of testing paper, and we can move on to our final submission in Day 4 starts with me raging at an X-Acto knife, as any man does while I'm trying to get the papers cut for my final.
Stop, dude. Stop. No.
What? Dude, okay, this is the worst I think I've ever done with one of these.
Stop. Unreasonably mad at a little sharp object.
Oh, you're kidding me. No, it doesn't fit. Oh my god. Now with that out of the way, I'm able to get to day 4's project, the technical sheet. The technical sheet is basically just to solidify all of my designs before I start something more creative. I just wanted to make sure that I knew what he looked like from the front, what he looked like from the back, what he looked like without his poncho on, what the poncho's design really was, colors, names, the cow's design. All of this is not study anymore, it's not experiment, this is what I want. Except for the cow's color, I changed that on the final creative part. But anyway, I got the colors for the poncho down, green and brown with a bit of a design, so that looks more unique. And I got... Wait a minute! Is that food? Nobody said you could have munchies, good sir. Anyway, names down for both the character and the cow. We have Weston Hill and Susan the Cow. I like them both, and I think they fit the characters well. And with that done, we can get on to the creative portion of this final. Okay, moving on to the next step in our long journey. Okay, we have our technical sheet finished. I like it, it's cool. Moving on, we've got the main piece. Howdy there, partner. We're almost through the thick of it, and as you've seen through my sketch, my final creative project for this is a combination of a stylized close-up of Weston Hill and 2 old comic book style landscapes. One is a big wide shot of the western wilds at daytime, and one is more zoomed in of Weston and Susan during the nighttime. I love this. This is easily my favorite part of the entire week. These 2 landscape panels were so much fun to draw and to paint, and are easily, this whole thing was easily my best work as of yet. I really love it. I had so much fun making it, and I learned so much through the process. This week has leveled me up in art quite a bit, and even if Cynic's design does not think it's that good, and even if I don't get in, I don't really care. I had a lot of fun, and I now have some of my favorite artwork to look at and say, okay, time to do better, which just gets me excited. I'm super happy with what I have. I'm very glad that I did this, and well, let's just get it finished. But we ain't done yet, partner. See, I've got the final piece, and I've got the technical sheet finished, and now I throw it all into a big collage, and then it's ready for submission. And there we have it. We are done. This is my 2026 CHROMA Core submission. I'm gonna get some pretty looking pictures of this and throw it in that Discord and see what Cynics thinks. All my files, I took a bunch of these pictures here already, and at that time here on the big old Discord, I am submitting. Boom. With just like under 24 hours to spare, I am done with Weston Hill. And oh my gosh, that was amazing. But that all finished, and a couple of days passed, the judging has happened, and I did not make it. But I'm honestly okay with that. I wasn't really expecting to make it anyways, and I had a whole ton of fun in the process of creating my project. Here are the 5 winners who did get chosen. These guys are really insane, and I'm very happy that they're the ones who got chosen. I love all their work, and I'm super excited to see how the competition goes down with these 5 at the top. I will try to be following along best I can, so expect more CHROMA Core coming soon. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Thank you all for watching, of course. Safe travels, and see you next time.